All right, here we go again. How's it going, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo. Take that, white paint. Let's do this. Gonna squeeze this baby out of there. Bam. It's hard work being an artist, guys. And some white paint. All right. It is hot in Arizona right now. It's super hot. I'm still in my older studio. Haven't moved to my new one yet. Will move very soon. Here, guys, let me show you what I'm doing here with this. Game on! There you go. Softening the white paint because my style requires that. It's just how I like it. You guys are ready to learn how I did it, how I got started on Craigslist, how I made $525 in just one day. You guys are ready to learn some of the stuff that I did. Well, exactly everything that I did there. I know some of you guys have been notifying me, letting me know, DM me that you want in. You guys want to learn how to do that. That's awesome. I am going to notify you ASAP. Okay, as soon as the guide is up and running online, I'm going to notify you. It's going to be up shortly, so stay tuned. There's all sorts of things that I've done in my career that have helped me move me into becoming a full-time artist, and being on Craigslist has definitely been one of them. That's exactly where I got started. Some people raise an eyebrow on that. Cool, you know, some people are doing great somewhere else. That's awesome. I had no choice. I had to do what I had to do, and the thing about Craigslist, because people are like, oh man, it seems like they sell all kinds of used stuff there. No shit, of course they do. They sell all kinds of used stuff there. They sell anything from appliances to cars to anything, even questionable dates. The thing is that it is a marketplace, nevertheless. And one of the things that I've learned in my career, is never disrespect a marketplace. I know there's people that like to disrespect marketplaces. Never disrespect marketplace, because a marketplace, regardless of what it looks like. Look at Shopify. I remember when it came out, people were like, oh man, Shopify's dumb, blah, 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 do Amazon. There's so many people making millions of bucks in Shopify, selling, you know, anything from little, thank you, love you too, witchy, that bitchy. I love that name. There's so many people that made millions of bucks on Shopify. They still do. How's it going, Linda? So that's one of the things that I learned. Don't disrespect the marketplace. The marketplace is the marketplace. It is a place where people gather, regardless of being high end or low end. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at malls. They're dinosaurs. They're going away. They have to think of something new. You know, they have to think of something new because people thought that was it, that was the only place. And it isn't. So my philosophy is go see where people hang out, regardless of whether it's high ticket items or low ticket items, whether they're selling Whether they're selling, I don't know, stuff for anywhere from $50 or $1,000 or 10,000 or 30,000, whatever, it doesn't matter. If there is a marketplace there, you have to go to it and be around it, be around the people, be around the players, because it is a marketplace. I know I've said this over and over, but it's been my experience that you will always be surprised the amount of income you can generate in a place like as simple as Craigslist. There's a lot of people that sell and buy homes, or real estate agents that get most of their if not a good chunk of their business just simply using Craigslist. You know? So when people have asked me like, wait a minute, how'd you do that on Craigslist? Very simple. There's people there. It's so simple. It's so, you just, I didn't think like that in the beginning. And I'll explain to you guys in my artist guide how I got started on Craigslist. I didn't think about it that way. I was one of the people who used to think, oh no, but I stumbled up on it. And you guys are going to learn how I did it. I stumbled up on the whole thing. I tend to stumble up on things. Because many times what you think that works, it's not necessarily what works. I was convinced that I was going to be making a lot of money and having a rich artist life is from my own website. So I made about, I was being so crazy, right? Yeah, I'm making a crane bird. I was convinced about selling my artwork in a website back in the day when GoDaddies were famous, right? E-commerce. Everybody was like, oh, build your own website. Where will build your own website? Yeah, that's great. I love the concept. Build your own website. But who is the question. Who the hell is going to go to your website is the question. This is the question. Who is going to go to your website? And nobody tells you that, Nobody tells you that in the beginning. Like, nobody told me that. I was so convinced. I was like, man, all I have to do is get myself one of those GoDaddy websites and show the world. Yeah, the world. Again, how are you planning to do that? What do you mean the world? Like 5 people, including grandma, visiting your website ain't the world. But we were sold these websites. It's not their fault. We didn't know better. I know there's a lot of artists that did that. They're like, man, I opened my website. Yeah, good for you. You're better off. You're better off, in my opinion. You're 1,000 times better off on Facebook than on your own website. Unless you're driving traffic to your website. Then that makes a lot of sense. Right? But if you're not driving traffic, people, it's a fancy word for saying people, traffic to your website, then you're better off at a place where people already gather, right? Even if they're not buying artwork, don't worry about that. Even if they're not buying artwork, I know a lot of people are like, man, people don't buy artwork on Facebook. Of course not. It's not a marketplace. We understand that, but people are in Facebook. People that buy are in Facebook. They're not there for that. I know no one goes to the grocery store to hook up, and yet people do, right? People later have their married stories, or when they got married, they're like, I met her at the grocery store in the frozen aisle. Well, yeah, you met him at the grocery store in the frozen aisle, but no one goes to the grocery store to find dates. Of course not. But people are in the grocery stores, right? It's the same way how selling works, how the marketplace works. You have to go where people are. It doesn't matter. That's why you have the prominent businesses in your community They're always, have you noticed that? I don't know if you paid attention to that. They're always being part of the community, especially regardless of what it has to do. Right? Like they could be realtors and they show up to like shit that has nothing to do with realty. Right? They show up to like some random event in the community. They're always there. I don't know if you paid attention. Big businesses such as what do they call them? Car dealerships. They'll pay for their CEOs. They'll pay for their CFOs. They'll pay for their top salespeople to go hang out at the next, I don't know, random event. Like some singer is going to come to town. You know, why do they do that? Have you ever asked yourself why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they send them to go eat at the fine restaurants? If you're a top CEO somewhere, you know that's what happens, right? Your boss is going to send you to some new fancy restaurant. They're going to pay for you to go. Your boss will give you access to prominent events, prominent people in your community. Why do they do that? So true thought. Perfect. Why do they do that? They do that for a simple reason, right? There's people there. There's people there. Every time there's people somewhere, it's where you want to be. This is why I make 2, 3, 4 videos a day on Instagram, because there's people here. Why? Because I know that people are going to benefit from this type of stuff, from the stuff that I'm talking about. I know that at least 1 or 2 people are going to be like, dude, I like this cat. I might tell someone about this cat. I don't know. I don't know what the return is going to be. I don't care what the return is going to be. My mission as an artist is to share my work with the world and to help other artists. So I don't care what all I have to be is in front of people. That I know. It took me a while to understand that, though. It took me a while to understand that because I was convinced, like many other artists, that all I had to do was be around true art collectors, whatever the hell that means, right? If I'm just around true art collectors, then, you know, I'm set. The world doesn't work that way. Who's a true art collector? For all I know, a true art collector is watching right now. For all I know, what even is a true art collector to begin with? It sounds like some made up stuff, you know? Some of my best art collectors have never collected art before. They never collected art before until they run into me, or I ran into them. Because that's how the world works, you know? You know, most of our great stories, we start them out like, you'll never guess where I sold this. You'll never guess where I found this person. You'll never guess how I got this job. You know, and on and on and on. No, I can do a pretty good guess. You were in front of someone, weren't you? Yes, I was in front of someone. Yeah, because that's how the world works. You have to be in front of someone. And this is why I've been wanting to share how I started as an artist. Because there's a lot of misconceptions out there. I was like, dude, I gotta share some of this stuff. I can't keep it all for me. Like, it's not, you know. That's how I got started, anyways. It's not stuff that I'm like, oh my god, I hope nobody else finds out. Although I was led to believe that way. Thank you so much, Precious Art 43 says, yes, sir. True, and you're helping. I love that. Makes me feel good inside. Makes me feel all fuzzy and stuff. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's as simple as that. Where are people hanging out? This crane looks like he's like, whoa, had one too many cervezas, one too many beers. Yeah, there you go. Let's give him a different je ne sais quoi. But, you know, it's always going to come down to people, no matter what anyone tells you guys. When people ask me what's the best place to go online, my answer is always, and I know that I've been a little bit harsh, right? Because it's just the way I land my rants. Nothing personal if you've asked this before, but I think it's a stupid question. I think that there is no best place online. Oh, and I'm saying this, to be fair, guys, I'm saying this just because for impact. There's no such thing as a stupid question, right? But I'm saying this for impact. Look, there is no best place online. The best place is what you make of it. It's like saying, where is the grass greener? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Georgia. I don't know. There is no best place. It's the one, where is there soil? Yeah. Can you put grass on it? Yeah. Can you water it? Boom. That's the best place, right? So when people ask me what's the best place online, I'm like, this is a stupid question. Every place online is the best place. No, but there's got to be a best one. You're not there yet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, what's the best thing to use? Facebook ad, Google ads, or Bing ads. None of the above matter if you're not going to spend the income and the energy. They're all just as good. All you have to do is just go all into them. There's people that swear by paper, right? Magazine ads. There's people that swear by them. I've talked to people that swear by them. They probably work even more now because so many people go online, right? They're on their phones. They probably work even more because the ones that are actually buying them, they're buying them for a reason, right? They're readers. They like physical stuff. They pay more attention to it, and on and on and on. There's probably less people competing with you. That's probably a plus. The prices are probably lower. If you get one of those glossy magazines and put this crane in there, let's say that I want to do that. The prices are probably going to be lower, significantly lower. Or better deals, maybe the same price, but there's a better deal. I don't know. Because now the phones are competing with everyone, right? Everybody's on their phone. They're not watching glossy magazines. So it doesn't mean that it's gone. It doesn't mean that. It means that the population of the people using it is significantly lower, probably. I don't know. But it still means that the whole pool, if you're playing ratios, it means that instead of having 5 million people reading something, I don't know, I'm exaggerating, right? Instead of having 5 million people reading something and I don't know, 20 artists competing for those 5 million, maybe now there's, 1 million people reading it, but it's only you. But there's only you. You see? It's different. It's thinking outside of the thing. It's going a little bit beyond it, moving, right? You have to be a little dynamic and move and think outside of what most people think. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, anything where people hang out, that's where you want to be. So when people are like, where is the best place to sell my artwork? I don't know. Where are people hanging out? What is the very first thing that pops into your head that people are talking about? I don't know, Amazon. Boom, Amazon. Jump to it. There's people there. Everybody's talking about it. It's hot, right? Shopify. Cool. Well, you have to learn how to do it because there's people there, but it doesn't mean that they're going for you. The trick to Shopify is that people are using advertisement. People don't go to Shopify to shop. They're synced from a link. It's a very different thing, psychology, than people going to eBay or Amazon or Etsy. People that go to eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and all those places, they're actually going there to type something into the search box. Okay, they're going in and typing something into the search box. It's a very different psychology than being sent from a Facebook ad to a Shopify store or to your personal store, to your www. www.sharonpotterartist.com, right? It's a very different psychology. It's going to be a very different psychology because, as I mentioned before, all personal websites are islands. All personal websites are islands. People are not going there. it's a destination point for very few people. They're islands in the middle of nowhere. You know, there's no real reason to go there other than you sent a link directly to that. And that, my friends, is very difficult to do because it requires a lot of physical power, right? You're writing articles, you're posting stuff on Facebook all day or whatever, you know, and then people click on it and they go to your website. It requires a lot of power to send someone to your website, as opposed to I'm gonna go window shopping on Amazon, right? That's a very different psychology. People are already going there. They may not be going to your specific store, but they're already going to the overall website. You know what I mean? So if you figure out how to get them to, they're going to the mall. If you figure out how to get them into your store, it's easier than getting them from their home into your personal store. I hope I make any sense. I know this is not Marketing Tuesday, which I love doing, by the way, but I've been an artist for over 20 years, guys. It hasn't been until recently that I actually started making income from it, and I started making a full-time income as an artist. And I'm sharing things that everyone and their dog told me not to share, but I'm going to share them because I think that it's important. I think it's important for other artists to find their way. You know, I think my way is not the only way, but this is what worked for me, and I'm going to start sharing it. And I'm starting with this guide, which is the very first thing that I did. I wanted to do that so I can get you at least get your feet wet into transaction, right? Someone gives you something and then you give them a piece of artwork. And the easiest and simplest way to do that is locally. It's not online. A lot of people think that it's online, but I promise you it's not. It's, if you haven't done it, or if you've done it, you probably know this. It's someone that saw your work in a show or saw your work maybe on Facebook, maybe, but they had to physically go talk to you, right? A friend that lives near you or a family member or something. And it's physical. First it's physical, and then you start going and scaling, right? You start going online, you start going to maybe physical galleries elsewhere. But it's see, one of my mentors taught me this. Look, in order to get income, right? You have to shorten, you have to close the gap. The fastest way of getting income is to close the gap between spaces, right? Between here's you, here is the person that's going to pay for my artwork. I have to be as close as possible to this person. That's why I say the easiest and fastest way is people that have already seen your work, that have walked into your studio. It's physical. That's the easiest and fastest way. And that's why I decided to create the Craigslist artist guide to show you how I did it. Because I did this over 6 years ago, and that's how I started earning money from selling my paintings. So I had already done it. I had already done it in other places, in galleries and whatnot, but it was very sporadic. It hardly ever happened, you know. And it wasn't because galleries are bad or anything. No, it's because it's a waiting list. It's a waiting game. And in order to get, I've talked about this in many other videos. In order to get into multiple galleries, you have to do two things: create a shitload of work, number one, and number two, get a shitload of galleries. Right? You have to get a lot of galleries. You have to at least talk to a lot of galleries to land a few. So that way you can have one show a month. You have one show a month, you're doing great. At least good. I don't know if great, but at least good. You know, you have one show a month. I don't know, you sell a few pieces. You sell 4 or 5 pieces, $500, $1,000 here, $1,000 there. Maybe you'll earn, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000. If you give the gallery, which you're supposed to, 50%, well, you'll end up with a whopping $1,500, right? And if you spend $500 on preparing the gallery show and your materials, well, you'll end up with $1,000. That's great. But if Uncle Sam finds out about it, you probably end up with $600. You see, it's not bad. It's just that the scale is wrong. The number is wrong. It's not bad. You gotta widen the number. That's how you play this game, and that's how I'm going to show you on my Craigslist artist guide. Those of you who want it, please DM me. Let me know. Again, guys, it's not for free. The reason why is because I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube that are free. You guys want to check that out? I talk about everything about being an artist and how I'm going through my day-to-day, figuring stuff out. Great, awesome, valuable content about being a full-time artist and growing a business. And I found out through my experience that many times giving something for free, it kind of devalues the content. And this is how I started on Craigslist, and I don't want to devalue that content because it's precious. It's what got me hooked into selling art, and I don't want it to be something that, oh yeah, it's meaningless. It wasn't. That's how I started. Now I'm making more, and I'm definitely working towards bigger things. But that is how I started, and I don't want to make little of it because it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was exactly what I needed to get started. So DM me, guys. Those of you who want me to notify you as soon as I put it up online, as soon as it's available for sale, and I'll notify you for that. All right. Thanks so much, guys, for showing up here to my little art talk and / making a crane painting. I'm such a badass. Check it out. Bam! Look at that. World's Greatest Living Artist. That's what it says there. World's Greatest Living Artist. Bam! Signing off. Take care, guys. Adios.